Hi y'all, it's 4 a.m. What am I doing at this unholy hour? My sleep schedule isn't great, and sometimes I wonder why I stay up this late. I like to think it's because I'm productively doing schoolwork or studying.
Repite lo que digo. ¿Puedes decir otra cosa, por favor?
Despite my procrastination, there's some truth to staying up late because of my schoolwork or projects. It's just that most of the time, it's because I'm putting an unnecessary amount of time into them. So I'll introduce y'all a little bit to myself with some of the things I've wasted my time on. If there's anything art related, I tend to spend a stupid amount of time trying to make it perfect. This cute map of the 2020 election took me 16 hours to draw. I also like to spend my time on build projects. This was our physics Rube Goldberg machine where we had Messi PK with Mr. Nunez. This was an air hockey table Julian and I made for physics. We drilled 2,000 holes to conduct an experiment that lasted less than a second. This was a Baroque violin bow that I decided to make out of bamboo, 3D printed plastic, and Mongolian horsehair rather than studying for my AP test. And finally, this is our A Push music video from last year where we spent 20 hours filming and 30 hours editing the audio and video.
Also Haji Washi, known as America's daddy. All these opposites mush like lard. It's all good, we can disregard.
10 slaves, a white yo, so much war bro, Tanker Pick, Trenton, Togo, Yorktown, 1-6.
Okay, so that was a quick introduction on stuff I've spent my time on. Now, most of these projects did not require the amount of effort I put into them to complete, and there were probably better ways to use my time, like actually submitting my chemistry homework. However, I don't regret spending my time like this, and I actually enjoy it thanks to all the fun that comes in making something you can be proud of. So, when I was trying to determine what kind of person I've been throughout high school for this project, I thought I'm the kind of person who puts his best effort into everything because looking back, I genuinely felt like I tried my best in everything. That was the case until I began scrolling through my photos and noticed the Japanese video project from last year, in which I put in the bare minimum amount of effort just to get the grade. Kind of like this project. Here's a sample of what went into our final video.
リズさんは元の時代に帰りました。ありがとうございます。
Obviously, we put a lot of effort in recording that. Anyways, this got me wondering what kind of other things has my brain decided to conveniently forget, whether that be a disappointing Miss Bird song with the previous video quality or blundering during my violin recital because I didn't practice enough. And this got me thinking maybe the more effort you put into something, the more significant it becomes to you, and so you remember it. So I tested this theory. Last year, I put a lot of effort into my APCS class, spending lots of time on labs and homework assignments. And so when the semester finally ended, I looked back on all the stuff I've done and I was like, holy shit, that was terrible. I'm never touching Java in my life ever again. So, clearly, effort alone did not turn my time in APCS into something significant. There was a component missing. And I realized that one of the things I did end up enjoying in that class was creating this rhythm game with my friends Kardike and Julian for our final project. And this was probably because I liked rhythm games. I like my friends Kardike and Julian, and I also got to use a little bit of Python rather than Java in our project. So I had some emotional attachment for this project to work well. And as you can see, this is me playtesting the game. The metadata says it was 3 a.m., so I was on the grind for real. And this led me to hypothesize that maybe you can create significant moments if you have some emotional drive to put in the effort. say wanting to make a good rhythm game, rather than something like, I just want a 90% on this assignment. And I think this was the case for me in Hamlet last year, where even if the assignments were really, really painful, the sense of overcoming these drastic hardships together with my friends made the experience a lot more enjoyable. This is one of my core memories where we had a Hamlet Discord group chat and it was 4 a.m. and everyone was still online because, of course, we procrastinated the project that was due at 8 a.m. And we were all just complaining about it. But we pulled through and managed to get to class with our assignment in our hand. We were actually all late, so we just came in like a big group, and Miss Pitta wasn't very happy about that. But that sense of like accomplishment driven by this emotion of we'll get through this together is what really brought me close to people like Kartik, Harjeet, and Andrew. And so this essentially confirmed my hypothesis, and it leads to my statement of greater meaning, which is when effort mirrors the heart, ordinary moments turn into unforgettable memories. And all this really means is that if you put effort into things you really care about, they will have a lasting impact on you and leave you with memories of positive feelings. And these things you put effort into don't have to be big projects or even be academic. This is the case for me with Shogi Club, also known as a Japanese chess club, where I've been putting in a lot of effort in different ways over the course of the past 3 years to try to get the club to grow. Initially, I didn't really put much effort in interacting with the members and spent more time on advertising the club just to kind of grow it numbers wise, which really made the club struggle as no one would stay.
Yeah, literally no one's playing show here.
And it was only when I began putting in effort in like interacting with the members at every GM, like making sure they had fun and understood how to play the game, did the club begin to grow. And we held events like a shogi tournament with our sister city in Japan, where we ended up losing twice to a cracked 8-year-old and lost like $50 in prizes to him. We have since then stopped holding tournaments with cash prizes. We also made propaganda videos.
I'm a proud member of Shogi Club. Oh man, I love attending the meetings every week and playing the game.
I made an Elo bot that tracks members' ratings to keep them addicted to the game, which led to a totally healthy competitive culture in the club. And designed a Shogi Club t-shirt so that we could spread our shogi propaganda more. And all of this stuff I've done have like definitely turned a lot of my moments in Shogi Club into, unforgettable memories that I cherish. And I'm really glad that the amount of effort I put into stuff has increased throughout high school. This also has had a direct correlation with a decrease in sleep quality. But I hope I could continue this trend into college. Now, connecting this to literature, this is my first independent reading book, Snow Falling on Cedars. This book is a courtroom novel which entangles a Japanese American, or just like me for real, named Kabuo into a murder case over a land dispute. Ishmael, a reporter who covers stories on the island this murder took place in, kind of does his job initially like half-heartedly. He does not put his heart in like his renowned journalist father did, who kind of advocated for the protection of Japanese Americans on the island during the war. However, as the murder case progresses, Ishmael decides to begin putting his heart into his work, humanizing the people he covers in his stories, and to do justice by covering kind of the biased case properly. And this allows him to find joy and purpose in his work again. And this ties in with my theme on putting your heart in your work to find joy. Another connection I found was in the play The Glass Menagerie, which is about a closed-off girl named Laura to whom her mother is trying to find a suitor for. And Laura is reintroduced to her high school crush Jim, and they reminisce on their high school years. While Jim isn't the popular shining star he once was, he's now like a factory worker. His continued effort in self improvement and vocational training has pushed him forward and gives the audience like optimism towards his bright future. Laura, on the other hand, hasn't really pushed herself due to being in her shell of like social anxiety. And so when she's asked by Jim on what she spends her time on, she doesn't really have much to say other than she takes care of her glass menagerie. However, thanks to Jim's influence, the audience also gains a bit of optimism on Laura's future efforts. And this again connects with the idea that so long as you continue to push outside of your shell and work hard, you'll have something to look back on fondly as you would have improved. To close off this project, in order to create great memories and spend your time without regrets, you have to put effort into things you care about, whether that is like academics or social. It's still kind of crazy to me that school's basically ending in a week. So like for most of the people I know, realistically, that's probably gonna be the last time I'll ever see them. So I want to make sure I spend my remaining week putting in a lot of effort, spending time with those people. Thanks y'all for listening. Hopefully it wasn't too bad of a yap session. Goodbye.